This is Joshua Hayward from Breath of Life, and I want to welcome you to Life Readings, This Week in the Stars and Cards. And this is a weekly series offering you some opportunities in consciousness and in purpose to get some information that can really generate a big heart space in you and open your energies to a more informed and more awesome and wonderful life. And so thanks for watching and enjoy. Hi, this is Joshua Hayward, and I'm reaching out to you with this very special holiday edition of Life Readings This Week in the Stars and Cards. And so hope you enjoy. Just an announcement that probably I won't be doing another one of these before the first of the year. But also at the first of the year and on into 2022, I will be picking back up on the teachings from Christ consciousness and starting to get some material together to sort of redouble my efforts to get into that teaching series, which is very powerful. And so yeah, that's coming up. And well, anyway, so for this particular episode, I'm sort of like thinking that a healing Christmas might be the title or the theme for. And if you're not Christian, if you don't identify Christian, well, make it healing solstice. But it's really, let's make it this. Let's make it heart healing, okay? In our hearts, which are been working so hard for this last couple of years here with the pandemic, and they're so in need of healing. And Christ consciousness is about the heart, okay? And it's about what happens there. The heart is the cosmic center. This is where you plug into the cosmic center of the universe. We're all plugged in there. And so with the wounded healer actually stationing to go from retrograde motion to direct on the 25th of December, got a couple of events like a full moon Saturday night, and we got Venus stationing on Sunday. We got the solstice. Yeah, I got all that stuff happening. I don't want to talk too much about all of that because it's all, let's just bunch all of this stuff. You're buying a bundle here, okay? So here's your bundle for the holiday season. And once again, this is for everyone. And Christ consciousness is for everyone. And the wounded healer is traveling through the sign, and I've mentioned this in other videos, and through the sign of Aries, which says I am. And it's the sacred warrior. And as not only Americans, but as citizens of the world, citizens of the earth, of this planet, the sacred warrior is so important right now because we're dealing with so much in consciousness, to the weight of what we're dealing in. So like, like a plague or a pandemic, and the rising tides of insanity of the masses of humanity, which are really going at it with each other. There's so much conflict. So we're looking at all of that conflict, and so let's take this week's video and begin to move into the heart as you're listening to me. Come into your heart, because that's where you're at. You're moving towards this Chiron station. You can feel it happening right now. So intuitively, oh yeah, and I must mention with that Venus, intuitively it's got something to do with love. And since Venus is conjunct Pluto, all right, in late Capricorn, it's how love works in the world. It's the structure of love, or the structure of lack of love. How much have we closed our heart for practicality so we could get through stuff? Okay, that's maybe one theme here. But we need to be the warrior. We need to be the warrior of insisting that we love, insisting that we are love, insisting that where we're coming from and what we're doing. And if we're not doing that, we're not really whole and we're not healing. And so here we go with that. Here's the cards coming right up. All right. So we're going to move right on into what this is about. And so keeping in mind that this is sort of happening for the next 2 or 3 weeks, all right? And let's see if we can hold that as an intention while we're going through these cards. And so the first one here, I did say something about love, and here's the Princess of Cups, the Princess of Love, of creativity and beauty. And she's been around in 1 or 2 of the other episodes recently. And it's bringing in and manifesting and just being in that experience of love in a very creative sense. That's what wants to happen in this healing Christmas or healing solstice, or however you want to look at that. Princess of Cups for the first one, opening up there. And all right, so here's a card that brings the challenges. This tells me that the mind, the Seven of Swords, the mind that needs to be healed, holds on to the idea of futility, of wanting to move forward like this large sword in the middle here, yet having these other swords, these smaller swords, sort of prevent and hold back. Hence the notion of futility. When the mind thinks in terms of futility, it's negative programming that has been received from the past, that projects the past into the now. Also projects it into the future as well. So a healing Christmas or a healing holiday season is to understand that it's futile to look upon things as futile. This is a lie. It's a tremendous lie in life that we live with. We let the effects of all the stuff that comes at us affect us in such a way that we can't move forward. But it's also good in this card, I'm just told to say to you that maybe there are some things, if you're going to embrace that Princess of Cups, if this is going to be a healing holiday, that there are some things that are futile that you need to, at least 1 or 2, that you need to set aside and say, this is reality, okay? Not necessarily easy to do. We humans are a little bit stubborn, you know. I know I am. Let's go for a third card. And okay, so dealing with that futility, what can open that up for us? If we're in a state of in-betweenness, indolent type of state of where the Eight of Cups here, that's more of the Seven of Swords is more a mental card, but this is on the emotional level. This is that state of impasse where you get to be in there and go, whoa, this quality is kind of empty. You see, these cups aren't being filled. So that can tell you some more about where you're not connecting with love, or how you're really reaching out with your energy in order to do that, in order to connect with it. Sometimes this is a good place to be in between. So you can kind of really assess things and look for your motivation. Okay, well, resources come into play here. This is the 10 of discs, the wealth card. Wealth is not necessarily accessible, in the traditional sense of that, to all of the people. And to the 1%ers maybe are not having a problem with this. But if you're having issues with finances, resources, and money and stuff like that, that in-betweenness, that futility, things like that, tapping into the creativity of the Princess of Cups is really about abundance more on this earth plane. And it's a state of mind, in a way. But one thing I do want to say is that resources are available to us. Sometimes when things dry up, there's something else that's on the way, and it needs to be nurtured. So the healing of financial and other resources are what you might want to look at. What is your nature? What is your relationship around that? And with value systems being really important anymore, with Uranus going through Taurus, and especially on that square to Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, and that square is pulling closer together. And so if we're going to have a structure that sets us free, if we're living in a world that money is a part of, we want a healthy relationship with that. And so money doesn't give a crap, about you or me or anybody. It's how you feel or how I feel about where you're at, or me where I'm at with those type of resources. That's what needs to be healed. Okay, that's just going to have to speak for itself. You know where you're at, but if you're too attached to it and you really are, way too much on the material side, you may be going through some stuff that's showing you that. Some in-betweenness, some futility, whatever. Whichever side you're on that. Just breathe into it right now, okay? All right, next card. The Two of Wands, Dominion. Notice now we've got 4 numbered cards. Last week we had something like 5 out of 6, or all major arcana, not even court cards. This week we're really looking at a bunch of numbered cards and 1 court card. So that leaves me to say that there's a lot of stuff that's not defined. And I think that we've undergone a lot already to get us moving, and now is for us to sort of begin to formulate and move into these directions. And to sort of make it clear ourselves as we go. Numbered cards don't really talk about, oh, here's the archetypal stuff slapping you in the side of the head. It's more like, here are these directions that we can go in. Okay, so Two of Wands is Dominion. That's where energies work. And so when you put that together with these other, especially these last 3 cards, what really works for you? Where are your energies going to work? Are you in the right place anymore? I think that there's a lot of reconfiguration of the workforce of America that's happening. You might want to look, especially when you're looking at resources and stuff like that, are you in the right place? Are you claiming it? Are you saying, okay, are you committing? Am I really here, or do I need to find another place? Things like that are issues around that card. Okay, so we're going to go with one more card at least. Got two more cards that I'm going to pull. And so when you look at the Five of Cups, which are empty, it brings you back to that Eight of Cups. There's definitely some hurt in the reading this week. There's this sense of feeling separate and feeling apart from. And so that's the wounded healer saying that you're identifying with limitations. Okay? And so, yes, we can really be disappointed and we can be really frustrated and hurt, especially when we have expectations that are not being met. Our expectations could be too high, or maybe they're, however you want to look at that. We can feel really hurt by our situation. If we deal with that and we actually get into the reality of that whole thing, maybe we're not in the right place. Maybe we need to move on. When we get clear about all of that, it can be a good thing. You know, and our families can benefit from that. Our communities can benefit from that, from us holding the highest space for ourselves. So if these cups are empty for you around some of the issues that have just been mentioned, well, okay. The other card that I pulled one and then the other, like two of them right there. This is the Prince of Discs. And he's changing the status quo of life. And so you really can look at your life as moving up to another level. You can do it without the physical movement. You know, you can just kind of look in consciousness and accept the things that might be limiting for you right now and really be ready. And then you're ready to be on this chariot of the earth. Okay, so things are moving. This is really good. These are some tough cards this week because we have a lot to heal around our identities. You've got a lot to heal around your identity. This is happening for me too. So this card has so much to do with the status of who you are, and I don't mean status seeking type of thing. It's just like, who are you, and where am I with my life? This is a very powerful card. It's a level change that can happen as you heal yourself this week with a healing holiday spirit for Christmas. Open your heart up. Look to your truths here. Be honest about the things that you're feeling around what I said today. You know, have my words triggered you? Well, good then, because then you can change, and the change is so much to do with your attitude as much as anything else, and being willing to see that you don't see everything all the time, and you're working with limited information. And that's okay. And right there, that's healing in and of itself. That type of consciousness.